Okay. So we're at 3:30. Let's bring on Mr. Hobbs. Scottie Hobbs, we had Lindsay Matway on before. Your team is representing. The question to you is similar to.
Is he on?
Yes. Scottie?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
How's it going, Carl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's great hearing all those challenge packs and coaches being signed up today.
It is awesome.
America.
Yeah, right? No kidding. So we heard from Christina on how to be a successful part-time coach. So now we've got new coaches on the line. We've got coaches who are re-engaged. We've got coaches who see that November is the time to run with this business, to prepare for January, to take advantage of the momentum, to help feed America with the give and receive promotion, to take advantage of the Durham exclusive box that somebody stole. But there's a lot going on. No, it's okay. To get Durham exclusive for $99, that's $164 of product during this month. The question is, for the people who are ignited, who are excited and ignited, that rhymed, how do you go from part-time to full-time? How do you know to make that transition? It's got to take a lot of courage. And how did it happen for you?
Oh, man. I'm excited to tell you guys about this. There was a lot of fear and a lot of courage and leaps of faith that had to take place for that to happen. And we can't go too much into the story with that, with the time that we have, but I want to share with you guys that one of the biggest things that helped me with that was the first step that we hear all the time is setting goals, And before I became a coach, I didn't really believe in myself all that well. I had poor self-esteem. I wasn't very confident in myself. I was really quiet and a really shy person. And, a lot of people on here that have maybe met me at summit or events know that I'm a real quiet person. I'm not that outgoing. I'm the kind that just sits and listens to people and their goals. So a lot of personal growth had to happen and learning how to set goals for myself. But I believe to take it from part-time to full-time is I had to take the mentality and get the mentality from the beginning that I wanted something more out of life, and first question I asked my coach, Lindsay, was, I told her, I'm not real money driven by any means, but I told her, I'm working every day from 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and I'm working Saturday mornings. My wife's working from 3 to 11 at the hotel. We got 4 kids now. At that time, we had 2 kids, and we're pregnant with the third. I was just like, I just really, with Team Beachbody, I want to bring my wife home from work. So with that being said, I told her I need to make like $10,000 in a year so she can come home from work. So that was my initial goal, financial-wise with Team Beachbody. And Lindsay told me, she said, Scottie, I can't promise, and this was in our getting started right. So I can't promise you $10,000, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you can change. And that was like a light switch moment for me when I decided, I only had 200 friends on Facebook, and I was like, that self-doubt, like, can I change hundreds of thousands of lives? And I started following all the top elite coaches like Lindsay and, all the other coaches out there that were, producing and on the leaderboards. I followed them, and I just followed their lives on Facebook, and I was like, oh, holy cow, these guys are just like me. I can do this. So that helped fuel my belief in myself, and I just started getting to work. And I was busy, like I started with those hours that I had. And so I decided from that day I was going to change as many lives as I could. And I knew I was going to get people that said no because, I'd already tried, before I became a coach, telling people about P90X. And some people weren't interested. Some were interested and never started. So I knew that was going to be part of the game plan going forward, that I had to deal with that. But I knew that I could find some people that I could help, and that if I wanted to, be like my coach, or be like these other elite top coaches, I just had to go out and find those people because those people are out there. So I started, as with this part-time, with all this enthusiasm and excitement. And one key to success I have to tell you guys that took me from part-time into full-time was that enthusiasm I had from day one. It's very hard to stay enthusiastic or pumped up or excited about something for a long time. So I had to learn to condition myself to stay excited and to get excited every single day. And it all really comes back to the 3 vital behaviors, doing the personal development to help me believe in myself and to believe that the actions that I was taking every day and, adding value to people every day was going to produce results for me, and continuing to, push myself in my fitness goals would help me as well, inspire more people and be proof that it worked, and, give them an example to follow to see success, and then to just continue talking to people, every single day about what we were doing and what our mission was with Team Beachbody. And that was my why. That was the thing I talked about. Like, I changed my life with P90X. Absolutely changed my life.
Right.
Even before I became a coach. So I feel it was like a disservice to not tell people about P90X or Insanity, that they could, change their life with that. So that carried into, as I began helping people with coaching, I got real excited all the time when I realized that I had the ability to help somebody. And being a person with a struggle with self-esteem, I realized that, and through personal development, I realized that this is what helped me with this, is as I realized that I could provide value to somebody or give value to somebody, that made me increase the value that I saw in myself. So I took that and I ran with it, and, that goal of $10,000, I just want to break it down for you guys that are new coaches that are out there that have goals. Some of you may want to be a full-time coach one day, or you may want to, have a goal like I had of making $10,000 or whatever it is your goal. But I think it's important to break down your goals into something that's more achievable. So if you break down $10,000 into a month and then into a week, it really comes down to about $200 a week, with Team Beachbody. And if you look at the commissions that you get from a challenge pack, which we're talking about today in Feeding America, 2 to 3 challenge packs gets you $200 a week. And so it was cool to be able to break that down and see these goals as more achievable as I moved forward. And, I just want to share real quick, we did the Team Cup, and I'm going to just name a couple of my coaches right here in Idaho Falls. We're a pretty small town, but I have Josh Holt, who's a brand new coach. It's his first full month in October. And I challenged him, pushed him in person, here to really represent for our Team Cup. He was a brand new coach. And he ended up getting 14 Success Club points in the very last week of the Cup.
Wow.
And he didn't even have any idea of the commissions. He was just excited about earning the tier prizes and hitting that goal. But I had him pull up his commissions, and he made $470.59 in that 1 week in his first month as a coach. And he's like, holy smokes, this could pay off one of my 3 credit cards, my small credit card I have for something that they purchased on their credit card. So that's how easy it really is to hit those small goals. And I also have, just this morning, I have Alicia Cox here in Idaho Falls also hit Success Club 14 in the last week of the Cup, and she was leading the team. And her commission for that week alone was $468.49 as a brand new coach. So it's, when you set goals, it's, $10,000 a year may seem really difficult to get to as a brand new coach, but if you break it down into that weekly, that monthly goal, and how much that is a week, and then really break it down into the challenge packs, you can be able to hit that goal a little bit easier. But as I went forward with the business, Carl, I hit these little goals. I began to, as you hit one goal, your belief in yourself rises a little bit.
Yeah.
So I hit that goal, and I was like, well, we should bring my wife home from work. And we got excited about that, and she left her job exactly a year after I started Team Beachbody. She left her job, and that was in April of 2012. And then, as you grow this business, it's hard to understand for a new coach, but, as you begin to create a system of duplication, care about other people on your team and their success, they begin to hit Success Club and run challenge groups. That produces team volume into your team. So now you're not only getting commissions for your challenge packs, but you're getting team volume from your team. So, from that time when my wife left, it really began to grow moving into Summit of 2012. And this is where it was scary. You said, you asked me, had it taken a lot of courage. I was frightened out of my mind. And one of my mentors was one that really helped me to make the decision to leave. But between that time when my wife, Gabby, left in April and June when I left my job in Summit, our income, I'd matched my income, my full-time job income in April, and then in June it had doubled.
Wow.
And so we were doubling my full-time income, and I was like, wow, I could really probably leave my job and, make this a full-time thing. I absolutely love, waking up to answer messages and add value to people. I should, think about this. And it was really scary, though, because my wife, she was pregnant with our 3rd baby, and I knew that we would have hospital bills and go off of my work insurance. I had all these fears of have great benefits and all these things. But I really had to look at, if I've created this, there's no reason I can't continue to build and move our team forward and move our lives forward and double this again or quadruple this. And it really just took that leap of faith of just believing in ourselves. And when I did that, I became so much more, when I decided to leave, I became so much more balanced in my life and my personal development and, being even more consistent in adding value to people and being able to reach out and help more people. So, it was scary to do that, but it all took hitting those small goals every single month.
Yeah.
And, I said it from the beginning. I asked my coach, Lindsay, I said, what do I have to do to become successful in this business? And she told me, it's funny. She was a brand new coach when she first introduced the business to me. It took me 8 months to decide to become a coach. And it just took me watching her, be a positive influence in people's lives and become successful. And I was excited about that.
So Scottie, let me just highlight something that you've said, though. It's so important, particularly for new coaches. So Lindsay was a new coach. She talked to you
3 months when she invited me.
Okay, so she'd been a coach for 3 months and talked to you about it, and it took you 8 months to decide. And now you're like, what are you, 5-star? Where are you right now?
7-star and number 4 for the top 10.
Okay, like number 4 for the top 10, 7-star. What if she could have quit? She could have been like, I'm not signing any. I got no leaders in my organization. So she meets you 3 months plus 8 months. There's 11 months in. She goes, this isn't for me. This isn't going anywhere. I have no leaders in my downline. Poor me. I'm such a victim. But instead, she hung out there. She kept looking for people. Who knows how many cards she had to turn over in order to find her 4 aces. And you were one of them, but it just took you a while to turn into a winning hand, as it were, and make that decision. And it just shows you how important 2 things are. Well, there's 3 things. Patience, but hard work while you're being patient. You have to talk to people, and you cannot jump to the conclusion that somebody who doesn't say yes right now is not a yes sometime. So you're just patient about that. But it does take that constant work. You don't know when the next Scottie Hobbs is going to be available. You, as a coach, might have the next Scottie Hobbs latent in your organization right now, or dormant. Which word? Dormant, latent, something. One of those. Dormant. Just there. They're not doing anything, or they're thinking about it, and they're looking at the material, and they're spending money, and debt's going up, and they'd like to get their wife home from work, or they'd like to get their husband out of that job, and they're just about there. But if you quit, somebody else is going to get the benefit of that prospect. If you really care about the business, you're going to see it through and keep turning over cards. The other thing that I want to say, though, is that Scottie, when he was, he looked at his income and didn't just take a blind leap of faith to leave a full-time job to become a full-time coach. He had a cash flow secured that sounded to me like it was better than your full-time job. Is that not right?
Yeah.
So
it was double our full-time job when I left.
Okay, so sometimes it scares me. I hear people, they'll say, I'm going full-time with this, and I'll say, what kind of income are you making right now? And they'll say, I'm making $200 a month, but I'm going to work it so hard that I'm going to make it a full-time income. And that is scary when they're used to bringing down $50,000 a year, $75,000 a year in income, and they just think they can muscle it through. One of the most important things in business survival is making sure that your cash flow is secure. So I never advocate somebody becomes a full-time coach, even though what Jeff Hill said is true. You sort of burn the ships at the shoreline. You do make sure that you've got enough ammunition and enough weapons to be able to win the war before you get off the boat. So the point here is you do it when it's appropriate. You do it when it's time and not before, because it took a lot of hard work for Scottie to get there. I mean, hours and hours of work. Now, Scottie, what is a normal work day like for you right now?
Awesome. Do you want to know about it right now or when I was working my job? Either one.
No, right now. I want to know as a full-time
right
coach.
Now.
Yeah, what do you do on a given day?
I wake up first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I read personal development for 1 hour. I'm currently rereading 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth and a book called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. Reading that for an hour, and then I do my Body Beast workout and listen to John C. Maxwell or Tony Robbins on YouTube while I do my workout.
Wow.
When I get done with that, I've got about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours of personal development in, a workout. I'm fired up, and I usually get on and make a video for my team or video for the coaches, something to pump people up. And then, I go through my list. I have a list of 10 things that I have to do every single day. I've knocked out the personal development and the workout first thing in the morning, drink my shake for breakfast. And just like Christine shared, I'm unpolluted. Get those things out of the way first, and then that's when I have my most inspiration. I've created the energy that I need to put that out to the team, and I believe you have to create that energy. And then I go through my list with that positive attitude, and I believe if you can learn to create that positive, create that positive attitude and positive energy, you're going to attract more people into business over any like methods or some stuff program that you're trying to create. Your energy and enthusiasm that you bring every single day is going to attract people to want to know what you're doing, what you're a part of. So I go through that and I do my list of 10 things, and then every day at 3 o'clock, I completely shut it down, and it's family time from 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock. And then 8 o'clock to about 9 o'clock, I do the Zoom conference calls with my Coach Basics groups and my emeralds that are going for diamond, and then diamonds as well. So that's what my day looks like right now. I got a complete, family time from 3 to 8, and it's absolutely amazing.
Wow, that's impressive, and shows quite a bit of hustle, because there's no wasted time in there. But you got a lot of quality. You have a lot of quality going on in there. Now, in a normal month, how many Success Club points would you generate?
In a normal month, I shoot for 20 for myself, and I work my wife Gabby's business, so we get 5 for her every month and 20 for myself.
Okay, so what are you thinking for November?
Oh, I've heard all these numbers, and you can get my drink ready. I don't drink, so you can get me a water on the rocks.
Water.
I'm gonna go for water on the rocks.
Water on the rocks. What's in there?
You can get that one, I think.
Gin and tonic.
So, water.
I'm going to go for something scary. We're going for 40.
40?
And I know it's going to be hard because we got a lot in with the Team Cup, but I know I'll have to talk to a lot of people. So.
Well, I will say, in terms of bravado, you have committed to the highest number. You have thrown out the highest number. So, we'll see what happens. And just so people know, people who are still watching, who I haven't bored to death, I get a list every month of the Success Club, of the people who generate Success Club 50 or higher. So if you ever wonder, what, and my assistant gives me that list so that if I have spare time, I make phone calls from the top down. And so, I call the woman, I'm going to say it's Carly DiCarlo, is it? 98 or 88 points in September, like unbelievable numbers. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the top 25 generates this month. But just know that whenever anybody puts up 50 points or more, I get a printout of that, and just so I know who's bringing it hardcore. And I know it's not easy, particularly when you're managing multiple stars. That can be difficult to both be personally productive and manage a team that way, but that's actually an important part of the business. You can never let go of your personal sponsorship. You can never stop being the proof that you being what would I say? What you need to continue to be, well, not just a proof that the product works, but you need to show that the process of recruiting never stops. You never stop building a challenge group. We don't want a team of 1,000,000 coaches who are great managers at managing coaches. What we want is a team of coaches who are so great at continuing to build challenge groups so that we never lose momentum there. That's where the progress in health and fitness happens. But the progress in wealth and wealth creation, and people like Scottie bringing their wife home from their full-time job and leaving his own full-time job, that happens from managing a team of coaches. So you need to balance both. Now, so Scottie, in terms of that day that you described, what percentage would you say goes to actual, what I would call retailing versus managing the team?
I absolutely love that you give me this question, because I talk about this with our team and our coaches, and it goes back to Pareto's law. I actually do about 80% of working the game plan, basically, of the 3 vital behaviors. 80% of my time goes into finding, inviting, sponsoring challengers and coaches into Beachbody challenge groups, and then 20% into leading, our team of coaches. And one of my favorite quotes ever is, a great leader doesn't just create followers, a great leader creates other leaders.
Oh, that's great.
So I believe to do that goes right back to what you were talking about, just staying right down to core value of why most of us became a coach in the first place, was the love of the fitness program and getting those results and helping people get those results. So no matter what star diamond level you get to or what ranking you are in the company, it all comes down to we are helping people lose weight and ending the trend of obesity. So that should be the main focus at all times, so that when your coaches say, how do I become successful like you, you can say, this is what I did. I hit success club every month. I ran challenge groups every single month. Created results of the Beachbody Challenge. Keep it simple and follow that lead. Always continue to lead like that.
That is awesome. And I assume you're coming to Summit?
Oh, of course, yes.
That was kind of a joke, actually. But how many summits have you been to?
This will be my third. I could have been my fourth. The first one was a couple months after I started, but I could not make it because I had no vacation time left. But that drove me to work this business.
There you go. All right. Well, look, man, I appreciate you getting on the call, and I certainly appreciate everything you're doing to help us build the business. Top 4 is nothing to sneeze at, even though Lisa will sneeze from time to time.
Sorry.
But you're just doing great, and appreciate you jumping on the call here today.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, so he water and rocks. If he makes the top 25, we got that, and he's shooting for 40. So it'll be interesting to see where we'll have to publish when we get there what the top 25, where those points are. Okay.
Hey, Carl, I've got a good question.
Yes.
Courtney Lewin